Hello YouTube, welcome back to In the Kitchen with Dan. Well, today I'm going to do something a little bit different on my channel today. I'm going to do an unboxing. It's going to be an unboxing on the Insta Pot. If you've watched previous episodes of mine, I've used a pressure cooker before, the Pressure Cooker XL. Still have it, still use it, still works amazing. They had a good price on the Insta Pot, so I went ahead and picked one up. I've never used the actual Insta Pot type of pressure cooker, so I'll do that today. So I'm going to do an unboxing and follow it up with a recipe that I'm used to and see how it does. And so stay tuned to see how it works out. Well, on the box itself, it says it's 70% faster. It's easy, smart, and it's healthy. Shows that it has some of its 9-in-1 multi-use programming pressure cooker. So it has a slow cooker, cake maker, rice cooker, steamer, food warmer, yogurt maker, pressure cooker, and a saute pan, and a sterilize. So I'm assuming that's to do the canning. I've never done that before. Also has it in a different language. Yep. And it goes to the different components. So it's going to have the different accessories that come with it. And let's get those out and see what they are. Okay, it's going to come with its ring. I believe this one comes with 2 of them actually. Looks like it comes with a user's manual and a little recipe book. Has a quick reference guide. And another quick reference guide shows you for your rice and grains, what type of rice. Looks like shows you how much time you need to put in the pressure cooker. Some beans and lentils, seafood. Vegetables and meats and eggs. That'll come in handy, especially if you've never used a pressure cooker. Has the cord for the pressure cooker. Pressure cooker itself. It's everything that was in the box. So at the top, obviously has the lid, and this one is the this one is the 6-quart pressure Insta Pot pressure cooker. Has the vent at the top, of course the lid. And if you remember from my previous episodes when I talked about the pressure cooker, you put it, set it up for venting, or when you're setting up for sealing it. So this one's specific for sealing, it says right here. And then it has for venting, so after it pressurizes, you click it over and to let it vent out, and it'll come out to the top here. So it comes off. The bottom of the lid there has your seal. So this one has a white one and it has a red replacement. It's always good to have more than one, because if they crack or start to erode, it's important you take these off. Otherwise it's not going to pressurize and you're not going to be able to use it. So that seal is extremely important. Inside here, we've got some more toys. Looks like little silicone mitts. Stick your thumb in there, and the outside shouldn't get hot, but I'm assuming if you have to grab something with a spoon or something, or use it on any other appliance. Little spoon and rice stirrer. plastic. Have your little basket insert, tray insert should I say, so that when you put chicken or you put a dish there, so you can pull it right out. Letting you know, don't place your hands, face, or unprotected skin over the steam release handle while cooking is in operation. Do not force the lid open when the float valve is still up. So the float valve on this one is right here. So if you can see, it pops up a little bit. It's not as distinguishable as the one on the pressure cooker XL. It'll go flush with it when it's up, and then drop down when it's there's no more pressure in there, and you can open it up. Have your Insta Pot. Looks like the max is right here. So that's where the max that you fill everything up to is right up to right here. Okay, and this is the condensation collector that'll be attached to the Insta Pot itself. And of course, there's the inside and the front part of the Insta Pot. Right, this one has soups and broth button, meat and stew, bean and chili, cake, egg, slow cook, saute, rice, multigrain, porridge, steam, sterilize, yogurt, and pressure cook. Then you have the keep warm function, the pressure level, you have your delay start, your cancel, and then I'm assuming to increase and lower your time, and this is the minus and the plus. And then here's the less, normal, and more indicators, and low and high indicators. All right, let me get it washed up and put it to work. So you can see the difference in the sizes of the pots for the Insta Pot and the Power Pressure Cooker XL. All right, I got the Insta Pot all washed up and ready to go. Today what I'm gonna make is my chicken and rice. For my recipe today to make the chicken and rice, I'm gonna need 3 chicken breasts. I'll season those with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna go with a 1.5 cups of rice, 3 3/4 cup of liquid. For the liquid, it'll be chicken broth, which I'll make using the Better Than bouillon. 10.5 can of cream of mushroom, 10.5 ounce can of cream of chicken soup. I'll start off by getting the chicken cooked up. Then after that, I'm gonna pull the chicken out and then get everything else in there and with the rice and get that cooked up. So let's get started with that. Alright, first off, we're going to get our little basket inside Insta Pot. We're going to lay our chicken inside there. I'm doing the Better Than bouillon. So I got a little less than a cup of hot liquid water that I warmed up in the microwave. Then a teaspoon of the Better Than bouillon. Get that in there and mix it. So this will be the liquid that'll help pressurize the Insta Pot to cook the chicken. So it's 1 teaspoon per 8 ounces. Once it dissolves, we'll pour that into the Insta Pot. And we're going to get the chicken in. So we'll add a little salt and pepper. And I'll flip it. Don't want to use too much salt in this recipe. Has the Better Than bouillon has its own salt, so you don't want to make it too salty. some reason the pepper does not want to come out of this thing today. Alright. So now we got everything in there. Place the lid on. There we go. Slide it on. So once we got the lid on, we're going to put it on sealing. So this side's sealing and this one's letting it vent. So it's on sealing. Cool, so we got the chicken inside with a cup of better than bouillon. I'll hit pressure cook. Takes it to 35. I only want 15 minutes on this. So it's all set. 15 minutes. We'll be back and see how it turned out. Cool, the pressure just went off on the Insta Pot, so it's beeping. From here I'm going to check the temperature on the chicken, make sure it's cooked all the way through. And then after that, I'll put it in the shredder. And then I'll get it back in the Insta Pot and get everything else put into the pot. So let the pressure release go, put a towel over it so it gathers the pressure and doesn't hit all the cabinets. Alright. Pressure's out. Let's open this bad boy up. Alright, let's see. There we go. I did add an extra piece of chicken before I turned it on for Minnie or Poodle. So that's why there's an extra piece in there. Oh. That's what it looks like. Check the temperature. Trying to get it to 165. And they are cooked. They are good. They're all good to go. So now that they're cooked through, I'm going to put them in the shredder. What I mean by the shredder, I mean the chopper. Get the chicken shredded up, then I'll get it back in the pot. Alright, so we get the chicken shredded up. I'll continue to get the chicken shredded up, and then I'll get on to the next step. Alright, we got our chicken chopped up. Our little dolphin looking gloves. Get the little rack out of here. I'm going to put our chicken back in the pot after it's chopped up. Can of cream of chicken. Can of cream of mushroom. Our rice. There's a cup and a half of rice that I already rinsed. And 2 cups of our chicken broth. Use water as well. So we can get that all mixed up. Alright. So now that you have everything in there, pop it on, put our lid on. Flip it back over so that way it's not on venting. Okay, then that way that we have everything back in the Insta Pot. We're gonna hit our rice button once, twice, 3 times because I want it. I usually cook it for 6 minutes. The lowest setting on this one's 8 because you can't subtract on this one. So we'll do the 8 minutes. And we'll get it to pressure. It'll cook. And then we'll open it up and see what we have. Alright, so we cooked the chicken in the Instant Pot pressure cooker. Got that done, and you saw we put all the ingredients in there. Well, it's been about over 2 hours now, and I'm still waiting for it to come to pressure to cook the rice. It goes to this auto setting. So, as you can see, it's dark out behind me. So, we had to kind of step out and grab something to eat in the meantime. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer and see if this rice setting ever comes to pressure so it cooks the food. If not, I'm going to have to go to the Power Pressure Cooker XL and apologize to it and put everything from the Instant Pot in there and see if it'll do what it needs to do and get everything taken care of. So right now I'm not really impressed with Instant Pot, but I'm going to eat my burger here and we'll see what we do next. Alright, so it's been about 2.5 hours and the rice has not come to pressure yet. It has stood on auto the entire time. I did look it up in the book and it says when you go on the rice setting that'll go to auto, which it doesn't give any feedback to the user of how long it's going to take. So yeah, my patience have ran out waiting for this meal. You saw that I even ate a burger that my wife went out to get because we were hungry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it up and see what we have inside there. If things are not cooked, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the Power Pressure Cooker XL and finish cooking it. Okay, so I opened it up. Never switched over and let the user know anything, but it looks like it cooked it. In fact, even burnt it on the bottom. If you can see, the bottom of the pan is supposed to be looking just like that, and it's been burnt. So I'm not really impressed with the Instant Pot, which didn't come across as too instant. So the whole bottom of the pan here, you can see it's a little burnt. And the entire time this thing went on auto, never gave the user any kind of feedback of how much time was left or anything. So I'm not really impressed with the Instant Pot. I will give it a try and try something else. But the rice setting on here has something, and I read the book and it says when you put it in there, when you hit the rice, it goes to an auto setting. So I don't know. I'm gonna assume that when with all the weight of everything else that was in there, when you hit the rice, unlike the other pressure cookers, it takes into account the weight and thinking that much rice was in there. So I'm gonna have to experiment with it and see if that was the case. So right now though, with the rice and cooking the chicken and rice, it's a huge fail. Well, as a quick review of my first use with the Instant Pot Viva, trying to make my chicken and rice, actually it didn't come out very well. Usually when I make the chicken and rice in the pressure cooker, it takes 45 minutes from prep time to when we sit down to eat. However, this evening it didn't work out that way. In fact, we never got to eat the meal. My wife even got tired of waiting, so she went out and got us something to eat. I read through the booklet and everything before I used the Insta Pot Viva and made sure I was doing exactly what it's supposed to do. One of the things that did pop up was that it talked about was when you do the rice setting, it goes to an auto mode, which it doesn't say that it doesn't go to a countdown or anything. So when we went to the rice setting after we put everything in the second time, it never showed that it went to pressure, and it stood in auto mode for a long time, which resulted in me having to loosen up the little bit of pressure that had got in there and opening up the lid. And obviously you guys saw the burnt food at the bottom. It did cook the meal, but there was never a countdown on it like it should have been, or most people using a pressure cooker would assume. Because usually what happens is once you put the time in this case it was 8 minutes for the rice, there's usually a pressurization, and then once it gets pressurized, it seals, and then it starts the countdown going backwards, and after 8 minutes up, you depressurize it, and you open up the lid. In this case, it kept staying in auto and never did a countdown. So Unlike any other pressure cooker I've ever used, I don't know if it's just that one setting or it's going to be several settings. So going forward, I'm not going to give up on it, but I'm going to see how it goes from there. And of course, I'll take you guys on that journey if you're willing to watch. And so hopefully it's just that one setting. Give me time to play with it and see what's going on, and we'll go from there. But thank you for watching In the Kitchen with Dan. Until next time, adios.